Ethan, I'm here. When are you coming? I stood at the city hall entrance, an hour past our agreed upon time of 8:30. On my way. I stared at the text message, my heart strangely calm. This was the third time it stood here like this. The gloomy weather suddenly erupted with thunder and lightning, as if sounding an alarm for me. It had been 2 years after our wedding celebration. 1 day, 5 days, 100 days, 200 days, 600 days, my patience had finally run out. I picked up my phone and sent him a text message. Let's end this. Ethan, the rain poured down, inside the lobby, surrounded by happy faces. I clutched my phone, giving myself one last sliver of hope. Why are you getting so upset? Something came up. Let's talk tomorrow. But when I saw the message, my heart sank. Grace, do you really want a marriage certificate that badly? Yes, uncle. Are you willing to give me one? Soaked to the bone, I ran to a bar to drink away my sorrows. Marcus gently wiped my hair with a towel. Fine, I'll give it to you. Tomorrow, I'll take you to get married. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and let us know in the comments where you're listening from. The day before getting married, I hadn't seen Ethan for half a month. He sent me a message. I'll be back tomorrow and come to your place to see you. Aren't we getting married yet? I feel so insecure. I curled up on the couch. The room was pitch dark. The power went out for some reason, and I was living as if I were single. I'll buy you a gift tomorrow, and we can get married then too. Okay. On the day we were supposed to get married, I put on flawless makeup, prepared wedding favors, and waited for a long time at the city hall entrance. My calls went unanswered, bored. I scrolled through my phone when a notification popped up on TikTok. Someone had sent me a direct message DM. Stop being naive. Do you think he's in a meeting? He's just shopping for clothes with me. I clicked on the photos. They were holding hands. The back of the man's head was too familiar. It was Ethan. Although I was mentally prepared, I was still shocked. Who are you? No need to guess. I'm Chloe. What's a wedding celebration anyway? Nothing can compare to a first love. I'm back in the country, and with one word from me, hell come find me no matter where he is. Sorry. I wanted to shop, so I held up your big day. Another time, I'll have him come find you. Her words reeked of manipulative and insincere behavior. He had a first love back in university? No wonder. Was I just a stand-in? A used item for you. I clicked on her TikTok. It was full of posts flaunting their relationship. I couldn't see Ethan's face, but I recognized him. They had been together on and off for 2 years. I exited the account, feeling nauseous and disgusted. I sent him a message. Let's end this, Ethan. This time, his reply came quickly. Why are you getting so upset? Something came up. Let's talk tomorrow. Talk. My ass. I'm Grace, and you're not the only dog I know. I stormed into the rain, tilting my head back, letting the water wash away all my past feelings. Rain mixed with tears, and before I knew it, I had walked to a bar. I was drenched, but it didn't matter. I just wanted an outlet for my anger, glass after glass, when suddenly, a voice, both strange and familiar, spoke beside me. Grace, do you really want a marriage certificate that badly? I had drunk quite a bit, my vision blurred. I saw a strikingly handsome face, with refined angular features, zoom into view. He was 100 times better than that dog. Are you satisfied, making such a scene? I'm asking you a question. Marcus's voice was a little hoarse. He pinched my chin, forcing me to look him in the eye, staring at me with an angry expression. He was always very serious, and I was usually afraid of him. But now, I'd been drinking, though I wasn't completely drunk. Yes, uncle. Are you willing to give me one? I looked at him with hazy eyes, a hint of defiance in my gaze. Fine, I'll give it to you. Tomorrow, I'll take you to get married. Hey, all right, uncle, it's a deal. I took it all as a joke. After all, he was Ethan's uncle. Marcus produced a set of clothes for me from somewhere. My clothes were very wet, and it was indeed uncomfortable, so I didn't refuse as he used the towel to dry my hair. My tears finally broke down. Ethan had never once dried my hair. I woke up the next day with a splitting headache. It took me a while to realize this wasn't my place. You're awake. Come eat. Uncle, how am I at? I panicked. How was I at Marcus's place? I couldn't remember what happened last night, and my head hurt so much. Did you forget what you promised? What promise? The words get married and marriage flashed vaguely in my mind. It was too embarrassing, so I just pretended to forget. During the meal, I felt eyes on me constantly, and my face involuntarily blushed. After all, Uncle looked too austere in his white shirt and suit. Grab your bag, let's go. When I sat in the car, clutching the marriage certificate in my hand, I was still completely bewildered. Marcus drove, a faint, almost imperceptible smile playing on his lips. Grace, you have 2 days to pack your things and move to my place, huh? Okay, but Ethan. Before I could finish, a cool voice interrupted. What? Still have feelings for him? No. I'm completely over him. Good. Everything happened so fast. It felt like it had been premeditated. Back at my place, I looked at the 2 photos on the marriage certificate. We looked strangely well matched. I gathered everything related to Ethan and put it into a box. It was heavy, but I still dragged it out to the dumpster, with no regrets. The lady happily took it all away. Back home, lying on the carpet, I deleted all of Ethan's social media posts and blocked his contact information. This person would have nothing to do with me ever again. I closed my eyes, and scenes from the past flashed through my mind, due to our family's business dealings. We had known each other since childhood and were classmates in university. During a class reunion, I was drugged. They took me to a room in a hotel, where a strange man stared at me with ill intent. I was terrified. Just as I despaired, he saved me. He didn't take advantage of me. Instead, he took me to the hospital later. Those classmates were expelled from the university, which must have been his doing. He took care of me at the university when I was depressed. I was very grateful to him. We naturally became a couple. He wanted to move in together, but I disagreed. My also said that girls should protect themselves. I thought this was love. However, when we got married, he said his family had consulted a fortune teller, who claimed that year wasn't good for getting married, as it would harm his career. He promised we'd get married after the new. And I actually agreed. He threw me a grand wedding. After the wedding celebration, he didn't come home all night, claiming he drank too much at a bachelor party with his buddies, and I believed him. From then on, he was always busy with work, and getting married was continually delayed. The first time we arranged to get married, a project abroad went wrong, and he hastily flew out of the country. Even after the wedding celebration, we still didn't live together. He told me that living together after we officially got married would be him taking responsibility for me. It wasn't until a class reunion this month that I saw Chloe. I arrived late, and only the seats by the door were left. Ethan and Chloe were sitting together. He told me, just sit there. Changing seats is too much hassle. I glanced around. Many weren't sitting together either, so I didn't think much of it and took a seat. Whispers occasionally drifted from the table. I heard Ethan and Chloe used to be together. Look at Grace, acting like nothing's wrong. It must just be a rumor. Maybe they're just having fun with different people. I didn't mind at all. After all, I believed we had a great relationship back in university, and I hadn't noticed anything unusual between them. When the party ended, I waited by the door for Ethan so we could leave together, but he said, Chloe drank too much, and her family isn't around here. I should take her home first. I wasn't so generous as to let my boyfriend drive another woman home. We can both go drop her off. Ethan didn't wait for me to speak and went out to find a designated driver. Chloe, however, said provocatively, I heard you two haven't gotten married yet. What's a wedding celebration matter if he hasn't even touched you? This was a thorn in my side, and I didn't understand it. We're getting married very soon. You don't have to be like this. Don't think he has feelings for you just because he's taking you home. When returned, I linked my arm through his. Let's go to place tonight. I was being very forward, but he said, Grace, Chloe is all alone here, and the designated driver is a big man. It's too unsafe. Let's all go together. And tomorrow we'll get married. Chloe flashed a triumphant smile at me. Are you sure? I asked him, holding on to a glimmer of hope. Yes. You go home first. I'll come home after I drop her off. I shook off his hand from my arm and went home by myself, growing angrier the more I thought about it. The next day, when we were supposed to get married, he stood me up again. It was already noon when he came to find me, and we had a huge argument, but I couldn't resist his sweet talk. He said they had no relationship and wouldn't have any contact in the future. I forgave him because I loved him very much. Yet, the third time we were supposed to get married, he was out shopping with that woman. I had never been so humiliated in my life. By the time I reached the bar, the rain had stopped. I called my mom. Sweetie, what's wrong? Tell what happened. I'll support you. The moment I heard my mom's voice, I broke down. My voice choked. Mom, Ethan and I will never get married. We broke up. He cheated on me. What? That beast dared to treat you like that? Tomorrow, I'll have your brother stop all cooperation with his family. Where are you? I'll come pick you up and take you home. My voice was furious, and I finally felt a sliver of warmth. It's okay, Mom. I'll come back tomorrow. Your daughter is such a catch. There's no way I won't find someone to marry. Hearing my mom's anger, I felt calmer. At least there were people who loved me. I went into the bar alone to drown my sorrows, and unexpectedly ran into Uncle after I threw out all of that scumbag's things. My mom had already sent a driver to pick me up and take me home. As I got out of the car, a man with bloodshot eyes approached me. It was Ethan. He grabbed my arm, his voice pleading, Grace, I'm here to get married with you today, truly. Please come with me, okay? I couldn't shake him off and roared. What makes you think I'd ever get married with you? Don't you have a first love? Let go of me. I was just taking her home, really. I've loved you all these years. Come on, stop making a scene. He persisted relentlessly. Let her go. A cold, sharp voice. I turned and saw Marcus. He pulled Ethan's hand off my arm, looking at Ethan with cold indifference. I took the opportunity to stomp hard on the scumbag's foot. Uncle, what are you doing here? I'm taking Grace to get married. She's just shy. Can you help me convince her? Ethan, as if grasping at a lifeline, pleaded with Marcus. Smack. Marcus threw a pile of photos at Ethan's face. Is this how you show your love for Grace? Ethan stared at the photos, his face filled with disbelief. Just then, Chloe arrived, saw the situation, and yelled at me, You vixen. How could you do this to brother? Shopping for clothes with the other woman on the day we were supposed to get married. Who's the vixen? How do you expect me to treat him? Should I burn incense and worship him like a god? I picked up the photos and looked at them. They were truly spectacular. How did Grace find out? Do you have any damn shame? Ethan pushed Chloe away, and she fell to the ground. Who are you calling shameless? Didn't you eagerly come to me after I returned to the country? You said she was boring, and that the thrill of being immoral was what you craved. Chloe wiped away a tear, grabbing Ethan's pant leg. Shut up. The deal's off. I couldn't even repay it if I sold your ass. Ethan crouched down, gripping Chloe's chin, and growled fiercely, but I heard him. So, being with me was only for business dealings. I laughed. The love I thought I had. It was all fake. Ethan, who are all these people? You took so many to a hotel? Chloe's voice was hoarse. She stumbled to her feet and grabbed Ethan's collar. Ethan was stunned too. He thought the photos were only of him and Chloe, but he hadn't expected. Oh, you. Was it all a lie when you said you loved only me? So many people. You're quite the master of time management. I must have been blind. Chloe reached out and slapped Ethan twice. Ethan pinned her hands, and both of them looked disheveled. I raised my hand and clapped. That sound is truly music to my ears. It seems you're just one of his many vixens. Chloe glared at me, her tear-streaked face truly vivid. Ethan, just you wait. I'm not going to let you off easy. Chloe delivered a harsh threat and stalked away, her heels clicking angrily. I turned to go upstairs. Ethan ran over, reaching for my hand again, but Marcus blocked him. Grace, let me explain. I only had business dealings with them. It's not what you think. He was desperately trying to salvage the situation. I ignored him and continued walking towards the estate. My own brother came out of the house. My pulled me into a hug. At that moment, I felt incredibly safe, thanks to Marcus and my family. Marcus's voice was icy. Did my brother teach you that business dealings should be conducted in a hotel? Even if it was for business dealings, what about these? Marcus pulled out several papers and threw them at Ethan's face. His face was cut by the paper, and Ethan's face instantly went pale. It wasn't because of the cut, but because of the pages full of hotel check-in records. Uncle, why did you investigate me? Why? Ethan asked Marcus, confused. Brother, these are fake. Don't believe them. I'm getting married with Grace today. He was still trying to argue. My Arthur walked over, picked up the papers, and spoke with anger. Ethan, you certainly do have wild nights. The family has never treated you unfairly. When corporation was on the brink of bankruptcy, we disregarded board opposition to invest in your family's company. You know how much profit that brought Vance. Is this how you repay your benefactors? Ethan instantly panicked, his legs gave out, and he collapsed onto the ground. My Arthur called assistant. Immediately withdraw investment from Vance and issue a statement. The family will no longer have any business dealings with Vance. Uncle, please say something for me. If Caldwell family withdraws investment, our Vance will be finished. Ethan scrambled to Marcus's feet, trembling all over, and tugged at Marcus's pant leg. If it's over. It's over. It should have happened sooner. The cold voice rang out again. Uncle, no matter what, I'm your nephew. How can you help them? Aren't you part of the family? What good does this do you? Ethan struggled to his feet, glaring angrily at Marcus. He clenched his fists, wanting to reach out, but not daring to. I wouldn't dare have a nephew like you. When your father took Vance from my hands, he should have foreseen this day. Marcus reached down and lightly flicked his pant leg, exuding an aura of coldness. This is revenge. Ethan's bloodshot eyes bulged, looking terrifying. If you say so, the company matter is settled. Now, let's address Grace's matter. Hearing that it concerned me, I reassured my mom, walked up to Marcus with a smile, and linked my arm through his. You too. You conspired to trick me? Ethan's eyes were sinister, his veins throbbing on his forehead as he gnashed his teeth in anger. That's right, exactly. We tricked you. How do you like being played? I stood on my tiptoes and lightly kissed Marcus's cheek with a smile, leaving a red mark on his face. Grace, you shameless woman. You're hooking up with my uncle just to get back at me. Ethan had lost all reason and reached out to hit me. His hand was caught by Marcus, and both his arms were tightly restrained behind his back. He glared at both of us, his face contorted in a ferocious grimace. I stepped forward and slapped him 3 times on each cheek, putting all my strength into it. You don't deserve to call me Grace. From now on, you'll call me Aunt. I shook my arm. Beating people up was a job for professionals in the future. What? Ethan's mouth was bleeding from my slaps, and it felt pretty satisfying. My hand immediately stopped hurting. If you don't want to get married, someone else certainly does. Open your pathetic eyes and see. I took out the marriage certificate and held it in front of him, making him read the words clearly. Although is now your aunt, you probably won't have the chance to call her that anymore. Marcus's tone was icy, but the way he looked at me was fervent. My heart inexplicably raced. Just then, Ethan's phone rang. He was still staring at the date on the marriage certificate today. It wasn't until the 3rd ring that he answered the phone. What? Say that again. Clatter. The drop to the ground. Ethan's eyes were vacant, and he slumped to the ground again like a puddle of mud. Marcus, I never thought you'd be so ruthless. When I get out, I'll never forgive you. Ethan roared, his veins throbbing in his neck. His eyes seemed to spit fire. He had just started to get up when bodyguards pinned him down, leaving him only able to gasp for breath. I merely did what any law-abiding citizen should do. If you don't want anyone to know, don't do it. Besides, I have plenty of ways to ensure you don't get out. Marcus calmly watched the enraged Ethan, The woman you always said you loved was her. What a joke. You played me for a fool. Ethan had now completely given up struggling. I'm not taking the blame for this. I gave you several years of chances, and you didn't take them. There's no point in saying more. I hope you learn the skill of serving time in prison soon. Maybe then you can get out early and get your revenge. Marcus put his arm around my waist and led me to my mom. The police? Vance was involved in tax evasion, charges of illegal fundraising and fraud, and other charges. And he was taken in for investigation. Vance also went into bankruptcy liquidation due to my brother's withdrawal of investment and the investigation. I never saw him again. My heart pounded when Marcus held me in his arms. Ethan cheated. But why was Marcus angrier than me? He sent his own nephew to serve time in prison without a second thought. What did he mean, the woman he always loved? He made me feel both strange and frightened. I sat on the couch, outwardly calm, but my mind was churning. Marcus was talking with my mom and brother a short distance away. From their expressions, it seemed they were having a pleasant conversation. Sweetie, go home and pack your everyday clothes. You can move to Marcus's place today. He's a good man. And mom feels very at ease and trusting you to him? Mom, it's only been a few minutes. You've already been bought off. I looked at my mom, baffled. Grace, I've always had a partnership with Marcus's company. He helped our family before. Live happily together, and brother congratulates you. Another one who switched sides. I was practically pushed out by the two of them, completely disregarding my heartbreak. They put me into Marcus's car. What did you say to them to bewitch them? After arguing all day, I was exhausted. I closed my eyes, leaned back in the seat, and asked him. But his reply wasn't words. It was a passionate kiss. His lips were icy yet fervent. I was almost suffocating from the kiss before he pulled away. My heart pounded. Too much had happened today. My mind was overwhelmed. Get some sleep. I'll wake you when we arrive. Marcus started the car. How about we just go to your place? I'm so tired. No. I can't wait to move your things to my place. What? Was one night going to make such a difference? I clutched my dress, turned my head to look out the window, pretending to be calm. Uncle wasn't usually so talkative. What was wrong with him today? He was quite charming. When I got home, I quickly packed my suitcases. He grabbed my 2 large suitcases and moved them to the car. His strength was quite surprising. When we arrived at his place, I became very reserved. I had been there before. But this time it was different. You're the lady of the house here. Relax. Seeing me still standing by the door, Marcus walked over, put his arm around my waist, and kept moving forward, forcing me against the door. Another passionate kiss. My legs felt a bit weak. He scooped me up into his arms and carried me to the bedroom. He whispered in my ear, Grace, the wedding night will be over in another hour, so that you won't regret it later when you look back. I've decided not to unpack. My face instantly flushed, and even my neck turned red. I woke up in an unfamiliar environment the next morning and stared at the chandelier for a long time, trying to process everything. Last night, we had been intimate until past 2 in the morning. My limbs were weak, and I didn't want to get up. I buried myself under the covers, not wanting to face the awkward situation. You're awake? Come eat. Those familiar words again. A few minutes later, a pair of large hands scooped me up into his arms. I gasped. His voice was full of laughter. You won't have energy if you don't eat enough. Eat more from now on. I was placed on a dining chair. It was my first time being carried to a chair, and I felt a bit shy, so I ate incredibly fast. He went to his study to work, and I organized my belongings, after busy for over an hour, setting my things in place. I poured a glass of water and brought it to him. But then I saw the flashing avatar. You're Sage. I didn't expect to be found out on our first day of marriage. Hello, Stella. Boom. Fireworks exploded in my mind. During my depression, I had several times wanted to commit suicide. It was always Sage who comforted me online. My happiest moments were chatting with him. He would tell me, you are who you are. Be yourself. Don't worry about what others think. Since you like painting, you can focus on painting several pieces. Little is the brightest star. Laugh when you want to laugh. Cry when you want to cry. There's no need to compromise. The one who made the mistake is at fault. You did nothing wrong. Don't punish yourself for others' mistakes. There was so much. Memories flooded my mind like an open floodgate. I was stunned. I looked around and saw the painting I had done of a girl saving herself, that was framed and hung prominently in the center of his study. I hadn't noticed it before. Tears blurred my vision. So he had always known I was Stella. Later, I learned that he was the one who arranged for my bullies to be expelled. He also asked Ethan to look after me at the university. But he never expected Ethan's intentions to be impure. A few days later, after dinner, Marcus and I were walking along the beach. There was a beautiful stage by the sand, covered with flowers, with many string lights and balloons hanging above it. It's so beautiful. Someone must be planning a proposal here. I took his hand and looked over. My eyes filled with envy. He led me to the center of the stage, then suddenly knelt on one knee and presented a sparkling diamond ring. I never imagined I would be the leading lady. The speakers played Mary, and I saw my family and his family. They were all shouting, marry him. Stella, will you marry me? Marcus's magnetic voice pulled me back to reality. Will you spend every day of the rest of your life with me, until we grow old? He my hand, How could I not? I will. Pop. A petal shower rained down from above the proposal I had always dreamed of, amidst the cheers. He placed the diamond ring on my finger, and we kissed passionately on the beach. That was thrilling for a moment, but then we had to pick up so many petals we felt sick. We gave the balloons and flowers to the children passing by. I took the string lights home and hung them in the most prominent spot in my study. The wedding arrived as planned, still at my favorite beach. From then on, the rest of my life was with you. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Please share your views. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.